Project Explorer. The objective of this video is to work with Selenium WebDriver compatibility test by checking cross-browser capability and automation on cloud using browser stack. In order to ensure that we are able to check compatibility by doing cross-browser test and later automating it with browser stack, we have written a program. That program is present in cross-browser testing project, which is displayed under Project Explorer. We'll directly go to parallel test, which contains cross-browser script.java. This is the main file where we have written all the required elements in order to manage cross-browser testing. We'll double click on it to launch it. Line number 3 to line number 12, we have imported all the necessary classes, which includes all the drivers and annotations. Line number 16, we are declaring WebDriver object reference. Line number 23, we are setting up the fixtures by using @before test. We are using parameter as browser, and all the fixture setup is being done in a method called as setup, which takes the browser, throws exception, and inside the method we are trying to identify type of browser. For example, line number 27 is checking if the parameter passed for testng is Firefox. Line number 32 checks if it is Chrome. Line number 39 checks if it is Edge. Depending on type of the browser, we have to go and we have to set the property. That we will do by using system.setProperty, using the driver property name and passing URL where that driver is present on our current system. We are setting the appropriate driver for appropriate browser in line number 29, 35 and 42. After setting the property, we need to instantiate object of appropriate type of browser. Line number 30, we are creating Firefox driver. Line number 37, in case if browser is Chrome, we are creating Chrome driver instance by writing driver equal to new Chrome driver. In case if it is Edge, we are writing driver equal to new Edge driver in line number 44. Else, in case if testng passes none of these, it throws an exception. We are also setting up our driver with a particular timeouts where we are implicitly asking driver to wait for 10 seconds. Line number 54 is the actual test, where we have specified test annotation in line number 53, followed by the test method, which is test parameter with XML. It throws interrupted exception. Driver.get will launch google.com. It will try to find element by name, which is Q, return that particular name, and it will send the key as Amazon. In other words, Amazon will be entered into the search text field. After writing cross-browser script.java, we need to write testing.xml file, which is the configuration file, where line number 5 is all about defining name to your suite, that is test suite, specify thread count, and also populate parallel attribute with tests. Line number 7 is test name. You are passing Chrome test, and line number 9 is the actual parameter name that you are passing to your cross-browser script, where current value is Chrome. Line number 13 is all about specifying the name of the class which conducts cross-browser test. We can go and we can execute the test now. To do that, we'll go to testing.xml, right-click on it, select Run As, and click on testng suite to execute the suite. Depending on the input and the attribute, your test will execute. It will launch the browser, populate it with the web page, enter the key which is Amazon, and finally, depending on further automation, it will add those functionalities in your test. For now, we'll minimize and we'll go and we'll see result of running suite. You'll find that it has failed because there was some method which might have not executed. But yes, you have a pass test as well, where parameter that was passed to google.com was well accepted. You can also go and automate the test using browser stack. To do that, you need to launch browser and you need to write browserstack.com. Click on sign in if you already have account, and click on integrate your test suite. Once you have signed in your browser stack, you will get various different options of automation. For example, we can click on App Automate. And you can select appropriate automation environment from the list, depending on the language of your choice. This is how you will be able to utilize capabilities of browser stack and do cross-browser test using WebDriver of Selenium. The objective of this video is to demonstrate how to work with Selenium headless browsers using PhantomJS and HTML unit browser. Headless browsers are becoming trend now. Specifically from perspective of mobile and web compatibility, we can go ahead and we can utilize headless browsers. There are many different headless browsers today which are available. In order to implement headless browser through code, we can use PhantomJS and HTML unit. Both of them will facilitate us to implement headless browsers. In order to implement headless browser and conduct testing using Selenium, we have created a project called Headless Browser, which is visible in Project Explorer. We'll go to reference libraries where we have taken all the libraries which are required. Apart from Selenium, we have added POI, which provides us capability of implementing headless browsers. You need to ensure that all reference libraries are added. Our next objective is to write application where we will see how to instantiate headless browsers and work with them. To launch the program, we'll double click on HTML test.java and we will evaluate the program. From line number 3 to line number 9, we are importing all the necessary classes and interfaces. Line number 11, we have written the class called HTML test, powered by public static void main, which is the driver method. Line number 15, we are creating an instance of HTML unit driver. This is the first driver that we are creating, which is headless. Line number 18, we are trying to navigate to the website, which is https://www.google.com. Next, we are trying to locate an object by name passing q to it. And that we are doing by using driver.findElement, passing by.name q. Once we have the element, we'll enter that element as a search query key. And to do that, in line number 24, we have written element.sendKey, passing Amazon as our key value. Line number 29 is all about submitting the request that we are doing by writing element.submit. Finally, we are writing system.out.println, which prints the title, and we are making call to driver.quit to close. Now let's go ahead and run it. To run it, we'll right click, being in the editor, select run as and click on Java application. In case if it is not saved, it will launch a dialog box asking you to save. Click on OK. Once you'll click on OK, it instantiates your headless browser and starts running the test. After running the test, it will show you the title of the page, which is Amazon. Instead of HTML unit driver, you can also go ahead and use Phantom driver. Only difference will be, instead of instantiating HTML unit driver, you need to instantiate Phantom driver. Once you have instantiated Phantom driver, WebDriver is the interface. This is the reason why entire methods and statements from line number 18 to line number 34 will be common. This is how you can use implementation of headless browser using HTML unit and PhantomJS.